G'day guys, welcome to Dude Food TV. In today's tutorial we're going to look at how to chop an onion. One of the first things you do in a recipe is generally chop an onion, so let's knock off that skill today.
Okay, so what we've got is we've got our knife, we've got our chopping board, and we've got obviously the onion. Okay, so first things first, whenever we're chopping something, I'm sure you've come across it before if you've actually used a chopping board. When you put your weight down on the board, it can cause it to sometimes move, and obviously this can be quite dangerous for your fingers, but obviously also lead to a bit of inaccurate chopping, because obviously as the board moves, your knife line changes. So to prevent this from happening, what we do is you just take the board away for a second. I'm going to put down a damp cloth. Okay, so you can also use a tea towel, just slightly wet, and the reason for that is what happens is the friction friction's caused from the water and the dampness, and then so when I put the board back down again, it's not going to move. Okay, so this is going to make more accurate chopping and less likely to cause injuries. Okay, so with the onion, we've got the root end, and we've got the end where the skin overlaps. What we're going to do is we're going to take our knife and chop off this end here, the one with all the overlapping skin. Okay, just going to remove that to the side. Okay, so we're left with a flat surface with all the reveal of the layers of the actual onion. Still got the root end on, purely because that helps us to hold the whole piece together, so when we're chopping it, it doesn't fray apart. And I'll show you that in a second and why. So, first thing you're going to do is just going to cut down right through the center. So, putting our knife on top, making sure our onion's nice and steady with a flat surface on the bottom. Just going to go down the center like that. Nice and simple. Okay, so we're left now with obviously the two pieces of the onion. Okay, and I'll get a red onion to show you what it looks like. Okay, so that's more accurate interpretation. So you can see all the different layers going through there. Okay, and as I said before, this root part is obviously still held together, and you can see that through that, all the different extra layers are held. If I chop that part off, as you cut through it, the layers can fall away and make it a little bit harder. So you hold that together for now, and at the end you can remove it. Okay, so as I said, to make it real easy, you chop it in half so that you can get these extra layers of skin off. Okay, because they peel away much easier once they've got a bit of a peeling or an opportune section. Okay, so there we got two halves of the onion with the skins removed. Okay, so let's make sure that our chopping board's completely clean of skin, because what that does is as you get into the finer parts of the chopping, you don't want to be removing any piece of onion and on the skin. It's just quite annoying. So remove all of it now, so you don't have to worry about it later. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, still with the root still attached to at the end, we're going to get our knife, okay, and you're going to make our incisions along that root line. Okay, so you're not going to go all the way down. If you look through on this side, I'm only going to make the first incision to that side. Okay, so go to the very end, make a line, the onion's still attached, and make evenly spread lines the whole way down. Okay, the more even they are, the better it is for your cooking. It doesn't make a massive difference with an onion, but you want your onion to cook evenly. You don't want one side to be more cooked than the other. And the bigger the pieces are, the longer they take to cook. So if they're all the same size, it can be quite beneficial. Okay, so there we've got our onion. It's got our slices in the middle. Again, I'll get the red onion that I sliced earlier. Here's one I prepared earlier. Okay, so we look through both sides. You can see I've frayed it a bit. You can see that from an angle. Okay, but it's still held together. Okay, so you're going to do the same thing on the other side. Use your fingers as a guide, so you never want to have your finger flat like that. Okay, you want to make sure it's always bent, just purely because if you're ever going to clip it, you're going to clip the top of the knuckle, or this part of the knuckle anyway, and the finger, and you're just going to work your way down. So if you clip it, you just go down the side. If I have my finger like that, I'm going boom, obviously losing the top part. Okay, so you're just going to do the same thing all the way down, making it as evenly as possible. Don't be too pedantic about it. No one likes to have the dinner too late. And just be a little more careful as you get to the end. Okay, so now that we've done that, it makes our job for chopping a little bit easier because you already cut out half the fun. Okay, or half the issue. Okay, so what we're going to do now is again using that same thing with our fingers, going to curl them over, because if we're going to chop anything, we're just going to chop the onion and not our fingers off. Okay, so you're just going to work your way down like so. And you can see, because we've already made those first incisions, a lot of the work's already been done. Okay, as you get towards the root base, it becomes a little harder to work with. Okay, so you be the judge of where you're confident to go to. But we're not going to just waste this part. Okay, because again, we just want to find a flat surface like we have. I'm just going to chop that part. Okay, so you're still using that piece. There we go. The root's pretty much all used. No wasting of any money. Tight asses. Okay, so there's that first part. And just go again. Exactly the same thing on the other side. Okay, so there we've got your chopped onion. To make it even finer, you can go ahead and put your blade down with your hand on top of it. So I'm right-handed, so I've got my right hand on the handle, left hand on the top of the pointy end of the blade. I'm just going to work my way down. Okay, you can what I call using the backboard in this situation, when I put my body up right against the board. So if any onion comes off and hits or goes away, it just comes back down onto the board. Obviously, you can't do much for the other side, but it helps for the other side indeed. Okay, so there you go. So just even finer chop. Always roll it back over, just so you don't always chop in the same part. And you can already see pieces are getting finer. There you go, guys. Enjoy your onion.